Okay, this is a video game that has been talked about for many, many, many years. And for whatever reason, a lot of people are kind of upset that Rockstar never made a sequel to this game. I'm talking about the Bully game from 2006. Um, it's hard to believe that it's been I think it's been at least like 15 years since that game has been released for the PlayStation 2. And it also appeared on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation. I don't think it appeared on the PS3. I know it appeared on Xbox 360, but yeah, I mean, the Bully game appeared on multiple game systems. It even appeared on Wii. I mean, I find it baffling that the game appeared on the Wii and the 360, but never for the PlayStation 3. But anyways, I do feel that the Bully game from back in the day was one of the most creative action adventure games that that came out during its time period. And I feel like one of the reasons why it got overshadowed is because during the mid 2000s, we had so many high profile games. Hell, if we're talking about like the 2000s decade in general, we had so many games that came out to a point where this got overlooked. I'm talking about Grand Theft, Auto, Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 4. Also, if we're talking about 2006 to be specific, we had games like, The Godfather. You had a Scarface game that came out, which a lot of people really don't know about. But but we also had games like Saints Row, and we had we had other games like Hitman, which I believe, yeah, we had a Hitman game that came out back in 2006. Then the following year, we had games like Bioshock come out, and then we saw like the rise in popularity of like Call of Duty and all that stuff. And yeah, there was just so many like games that overshadowed the Bully title from 2006 to a point where I feel like um it didn't get as much exposure as it could have during the time period, especially considering the fact that, Rockstar hasn't really made an effort to like remaster it or anything, at least not to my knowledge. And and I do feel that, Rockstar, they don't have to, remake or remaster it or anything like that. Because you look at some of their more, popular IPs and franchises. You look at Grand Theft Auto, you look at Red Dead Redemption. It's something that's not necessarily needed, but at the same time, a sequel is something that would be appreciated. As a matter of fact, there's been rumors going around online that the Bully game may be making a comeback, and and I guess the rumor going around is that they might be on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. And the reason that's the case is because new console versions of Bully was rated in Taiwan. And this is something that I read on Game Rant. But I haven't seen any other particular gaming site necessarily talk about this or anything like that. I don't think. I don't think Rockstar has come forward and have confirmed this just yet, but I guess the idea is that Rockstar might be possibly modernizing, the original Bully game that came out back in 2006 for the latest two, consoles that came out. I don't know whether or not this is something that you would feature on, the Switch 2 or anything like that, because it was on the Wii back in the day, and I do feel that, this game would probably stand out more now than it did back then because of how unique it was. It was like an action adventure game where players controlled a juvenile who was basically the main character. And pretty much he had to go through six different chapters and rise up the ranks of the school system in order to put a stop to bullying. And obviously, the game was definitely, edgy to a point where it was controversial and featured like, sexual content and all that stuff. But, it was the 2000s, it was a different time period. And that stuff was pretty much normalized back then. And if I had to take a guess, one of the reasons why, Bully never got a sequel or anything like that back in the day is because the developer of the game, Rockstar Vancouver, the studio for that had gotten shut down back in the summer of 2012, and and I'm not exactly sure if any of the developers who were a part of that studio are still with Rockstar or not. But either way, I mean, Rockstar still owns the IP, and if they want to make a new bully game, they could have done so a long time ago with a different studio. But I feel like that's something that they have put on the back burner mainly because I think the Bully game had sold like roughly around 1.5 mil when it came out, and not only that, it's like they don't necessarily need that game as much as they do with Grand Theft Auto, because you look at Grand Theft Auto 5, like within the past decade, Rockstar has practically been living off of that for the most part, and then we got Grand Theft Auto 6, which is supposed to be coming out next year in 2025. And it's a damn shame that games like Bully and LA Noire and Max Payne, it's a shame that particular those particular IPs kind of got discontinued for the most part, because I feel like LA Noire had the potential to be its own video game series. I do feel like we should have gotten a Max Payne 4, but I don't think Max Payne 3 sold nearly as much as Rockstar wanted it to. Just like the Bully game probably didn't sell nearly as much as they wanted to. And obviously Rockstar likes to go with what really sells, and they know for a fact that they struck gold with GTA and Red Dead Redemption. So yeah, like with the Bully game and the rumors surrounding it possibly getting I don't know, getting remade or remastered for current generation game system in the future. That's something that a lot of people are hoping is true. I'm not exactly sure if Rockstar feel like it's worth it, or if this is something that's going to lead to I guess a sequel somewhere down the line. I honestly feel like this would have made for a good, movie. You know what I mean? But for the most part, Rockstar doesn't have doesn't have ties with like any media production, companies or anything like that, like Nintendo and Sega does. And I feel like the only franchise and IP that Rockstar has that they can probably get like a movie deal or a television deal off of is Grand Theft Auto, or even Red Dead Redemption at this point. But if Rockstar do indeed plans on rebooting the Bully IP, then honestly I find that very interesting. But I'm still gonna sit back and wait and see what's going to be done with the original game, and whether or not Rockstar plans on remaking it and re-releasing it on current generation game systems for sure.